Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Enigmatica 6 Expert. So since the last episode, it has been a bit of time. I didn't get quite as much done building-wise as I was really hoping to, but I had a very busy weekend. We actually had our very first ultrasound for the new baby, and everything looks good, and we're waiting on some blood work and stuff, which should be in sometime next week, and then we'll know the actual gender of the baby, though we think it's going to be a girl. But I did do a bit of work up here, starting to get some stuff plotted out, and also I did run, you can see some source relays there, and these come up to a splitter, which is feeding these source jars. Right now I do have the crystallizer turned off, because I'm going to be actually making a few more of those, and we'll get into that a little bit later, but we've got plenty of source gems built up at the moment. Also, I did craft a bunch of glyphs. This is all that we have left in terms of glyphs over here, and you can see that our mana is now 1405, so quite a bit more than, it's what, over double what it was last episode. So you can see I've got a bunch of different glyphs unlocked in here. So but anyways, today what I would like to do is we're going to be pushing magic progression a bit, unlocking a few different mods, because just going through and unlocking the basis of a lot of mods is going to set up a lot of dominoes for us to allow us to get those in place for some upcoming setups, for some upcoming automation, for item storage, and lots of good things, basically. Now, the very first mod that we're going to touch on is we're going to come back to Eidolon at this point, and I have prepped up a few things in here. I did go ahead and I converted conduits. We have 11 of those. I've got some arcane stone, and I did go ahead and farmed up some soul shards as well. So we do have those available. But the very first thing we're going to want to do is get our magic workbench. Now this is going to require some linen. So what we're going to do is just do this method for right now, just because I do have a lot of these cloth scraps, but we do have flax planted. You know, I've got everything from Adam and everything from the Undergarden planted at the moment. But let's go ahead, let's get ourselves some bolts of linen cloth, a bit of white linen, then we'll go ahead and get our red linen carpet. And that way we can go ahead and get our magic workbench. And that's going to complete a few quests for us. We are going to get a Scavenger's Delight, and we got Wixie Shards and Prismatic Cobwebs. And what we're going to do, let's go ahead, set this down for the time being. And basically what I would like to go ahead and get started on is we're going to make ourselves our altar. Is there a quest? Okay, this is going to tell us about signs and chants. And then to get our wooden altar, that's going to be scented sticks. Let's go ahead and get that. Let's get that. And how do we go about making the vertical slabs? Okay. Then we can get our altar. And I guess we don't need the magic workbench right now, but we will. So it's not a big deal that we've already got it. So, and then we'll get our straw effigy. Okay, so we're going to set this up somewheres abouts. All this stuff's going to be steadily getting moved, but let's go ahead and put it right here. And then if we open up our Ars Ecclesia and we go down to Theurgy, we're going to see the Dark Prayer here. And we just do the Wicked Sign 3 times in a row. And when it comes to praying, we can do it once per day. We're just going to do that. Click here and then just do chant. There we go. And now if we were to try to do it again, you'll notice that it's going to fizzle. That means it's not going to work. So we're going to have to wait basically 24 hours game time. That's why I wanted to go ahead and get this quest line underway at this point. So let's go ahead and get our candles and our zombie heads. Now what we can do is we can place these onto the altar basically to boost it. Different types of items. Like if you take a look inside the Ars Ecclesia, it's going to tell you that right under here, under altar lighting, altar skulls, altar herbs, the goblet, you can add these different things to your altar so you can make them bigger to allow you to have space to put these things on but they're going to boost your power and stuff. Honestly, it's not super important for us at the moment because this system is a little unfinished at the moment. So we're not going to worry too much about it right now, but we will make a nice decorative altar. But right now we just want to get our additional signs unlocked at the moment. So, okay, so now what I would like to do before we leave Eidolon, I do want to make a goblet, this right here. And of course it is going to require that we get some arcane gold real quick. But there is our goblet. Oh, by the way, I did get a soul gem from an apotheosis tower. It was, I don't remember where I found it, but it was just like a random apotheosis tower. But let's go ahead and we're going to expand our altar at this point and just add another block to it. Maybe on the other side. This is just temporary, but I haven't started building where this is going to be, so. But let's go ahead and just grab ourselves a chicken. This will be the easiest one to sacrifice. There we go. We got some blood in there. That's just kind of in preparation for our next ritual, which we don't currently have that unlocked yet. But let's go ahead. No, still fizzling. That's fine. Alright, now in the meantime, we are going to be switching our focus. But before we do, let's go ahead and we're going to get a rare R's loot box from doing the Source Relay Splitter. And we're also going to get a glyph for Grow at this point. Which will mean that we'll be able to take this one off of our list and activate that. There we go. And we got Mana Regen 2 book. Now, we also have Resourceful Bees. I'm not going to turn this in right now. I don't need those. But over at Create, for doing an adjustable chain gear shift, we're actually going to get a legendary Create loot box. I made this for actually an R's spell between episodes, so we're going to go ahead and grab that. And we got precision mechanisms. Okay. And these are still, yeah, they're still sequenced assembly. Okay. Well, we're not going to use those right now, but we will be soon enough. And then automation, we get adjustable pulse repeater. Alright, let's go ahead, toss that stuff in there for now. Now at this point, we're going to be switching gears, because we're going to be jumping around magic mods a little bit today. But we're going to switch gears over to, I guess we'll go with Blood Magic next. And I'm going to need a bit of arcane gold for this. And some Tinker's Bronze ingots. Okay. And of course, bear in mind, if you don't have the Dark Sign unlocked in your Ars Ecclesia, it's because you have not traded it with a witch. If you recall, a few episodes back, we traded our book with a witch, and that is the reason as to why we did that. So you will need to throw it at a witch and get her to basically put the Dark Sign into your book. So we'll go ahead and get our gold inlays. Actually, I just need one craft of these. And we will need some other stone. I'm going to go ahead and make a batch of this. Now, later on, we will have a more permanent Otherworld Flame, but for right now... Oh, it's Arcane Stone in this pack. So maybe I won't make quite as big of a batch of it. If that's the case. There we go. There is our other stone. And then we just need the Heart of the Sea and the cooking pot. I'll probably just take the cooking pot that's over here for the time being. And actually, we completed that quest, which we've already turned in. So I'm going to trash that stuff. And there is a quest here for Alchemy Practice. Technically, we have all of this stuff, so I want to go ahead and just get this quest knocked out. There we go. And we're going to get some soul shards and an Alchemist Delight, which has Eye of the Blaze. Alright, so we'll go ahead and get our Heart of the Sea made. Ooh. It just dawned on me, this is going to be different. We can't do a sacrificial knife for tier 1. We have to get up to a tier 2 to do that. How nifty. That's 3 copper and glass. Okay, well there's our blood altar. So we'll go ahead and grab that. And let's take a look at... If we do our chant. There we go. Okay, still no sign just yet. We're still waiting on that. And I gotta make up some more Tinker's Bronze. And there is our Dagger of Sacrifice. So if we take a look at Blood Magic, we're going to get a Farmer's Delight from that. With cod and chips. Alright, now for slates in this pack. Oh, Bloody Honeycomb. Comes from Bloody Bee. And apparently it comes from a Bronze Bee being bathed in blood. Interesting. Okay, well, anyways, the normal method for blank slates is other stone slates. Whew, okay. Okay, well, let's pop down to our mine. We'll set up a little area down here for making flux for right now. Just till we get it automated. So we'll put that right in there. There we go, and there's 64. And we'll just break that off and replace it for now. That should be plenty of flux for a minute. I don't need a ton of slates right this second. I just kind of want to push into Blood Magic to unlock the bare basics of it right now. Also for the Blood Orb, it's the Unholy Symbol. Okay. I know a lot of the stuff on this side is going to be reliant on us pushing through a little bit of basic Eidolons. So, and then we just need some Source Gems. But we're going to be getting some stuff in the coming episodes from this little push that's going to make our lives a bit easier. Alright, so let's go ahead and place this out. There we go. And I'm going to get just a couple crafts of it for right now. Like I said, I don't need a ton of this right this second. And by the time that we set out to make more slates than this, I'll have all this automated. So we might also push into the Bloody Bee. I don't know. It's a very interesting type of bee, I think. Alright, so there is our 6 other stone slates. Now at this point, I believe, I want to say that, yeah, it may only be used in the Undergarden Craft a Master Blood Orb to lift this restriction. Alright, so we're going to pop into the Undergarden, and we are going to go set ourselves up our Blood Altar, and technically we could set up a spawner with it. But we can also do that. Honestly, I think I'd like to move into self-sacrifice. What's it take for slates? Or blank runes. They do make 2 at a time, though. So it's actually not a terrible recipe. Yeah, we've actually got enough in here to go ahead. There we go. There is our very first slate. Because once we get on to self-sacrifice, that's going to be, I think, the preferred method. For us, we're just going to boost up self-sacrifice. And it's funny because normally it's the other way around. We go with sacrifice or self-sacrifice and then work our way up to self-sacrifice. But I think within this series, we're going to have it sort of be the other way around, I think. And like I said, I mean, we could do a spawner or even set it up down in a dungeon near some spawners. That would actually work extremely well. But we could also use our Nocturnal Powder to make it a bit easier too. That's an option as well. But for right now, I just want this very, very briefly down here. So there we go. We're going to go ahead and pull that up for right now. I got the slates that I wanted. So let's go ahead and pop back home. So we're going to leave Blood Magic for the time being. But as it stands, we only need Blood Magic as a tier 1 at the moment. We're not worried about pushing forward technically on the progression of the Blood Altar for the time being. Now let's go ahead. We're going to switch off of Blood Magic for a moment. Like I said, we're going to be jumping around a lot today. This is just to get some stuff in place that we're going to be making use of. Now the next thing we want to do is make ourselves a Petal Apothecary, and I'm going to go ahead and make 2 cooking pots. That way we have one, you know, for our personal use as well. Okay, so there's 2 cooking pots, because I know we're going to need this later for Calcs of the End, so may as well go ahead and set it up. And then for the Petal Apothecary, it's just going to be lapis dust, pewter inlay. We're going to need one of these andesite pedestals, and then we are going to need that some of that papyrus that we got from Adam a little bit back. So let's go ahead and grab that. And then we're going to pop up and go ahead and make ourselves our Petal Apothecary. So there we go. And let's go ahead and open up the Botania quest line at this point. We are going to get a pestle and mortar right there, and then they want us to get 16 mystical flowers, which I actually have not unlocked that. Let me see if I have 16 or not. Yeah, let me just pop over and see if I can find like 16 mystical flowers. There we go. And that way that quest will be done. And we're going to get a flower pouch, some shears, and a scavenger's delight from that. And I'll just go ahead and dump those into the flower pouch. Now next up, we're going to want to make a pure daisy. And it's going to be 4 white, a conduit, and some phyto grow. So let's go ahead and just get ourselves some white petals. That. Are you ready by chance? Unlock the blood sign. There we go. So we have unlocked that. Now if we take a look at theurgy, we have sacrifice animal. So it's going to be the dark sign, blood sign, dark sign, and it does require at this point that we have some blood in our goblet. It has to be animal blood, which we do presently have that. So, but it's gonna consume it each time that we do the ritual. All right, so let's go ahead. We are going to make ourselves a pure daisy. There we go. And that's going to complete that quest. We get a rare Botania loot box and Farmer's Delight. Looks like we got 32 living wood and some Wakami Gunkan, which gives us 35 seconds of fire resistance. Okay. And then they want us to get living rock and living wood. Living rock is sunstone, which takes firmament through the natural altar. Living wood is flourishing archwood logs. Okay, so that one's pretty easy, but the living rock is going to be a little bit more work for us. Alright, so if we take a look at wooden stands, they are living wood walls, gold inlays, apatite, and gold leaf. And that makes 1. Wow, okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and get some gold inlay. I'm going to need a little bit more of that. Now, the living wood walls will be easy enough, thanks to our quest reward. The apatite's no problem, the gold leaf is no problem. So I'm just going to go ahead and gather up a bit of this gold leaf real quick. And we will need a bit extra, because we are going to have to make some gold powder as well. Okay, so there's a half stack. That'll be good. And then we'll just go ahead and toss down that. And there we go. There is our wooden stands. And we are going to get a Rare Nature's Ore loot box and a market. Interesting. What did we get from Token of Fear? Alright, now to get the natural altar, it's going to be Sunny Blossom Saplings, Gold Leaf, Token of Joy, the Warding Stones, which I think we have the Tokens of Joy, right? So that we don't have to worry about. And the Warding Stones are no problem. We do have a Basal's Shard, so we can break this down into Basal's Powder. And for Earth Charges, it's going to be Gunpowder and Coal. We already have Fire Charges. And then we do need the Ice Charge and the Lightning Charge. Now let's see, we did get an extra Blitz Mote, so we'll go ahead and get the Lightning Charges. But we didn't get an extra Blizz, so I'm going to have to pop over to the snowy biome that's over here and just get another Blizz. Here pretty soon, especially now that we've got the Soul Gem here pretty soon, this isn't going to be a concern for us, any of the thermal mobs, because we're going to be setting something up that's going to make it a whole lot easier for us. But the Golem. Oh, I think that's the knockback resistance one, actually. Oh, I didn't even see him. There we go. Yeah, it's knockback resistance. So then we can go ahead and get our ice charge. Now we should be all set, and it's going to be, what sapling was it? The quark Sunny Blossom. Okay. So let me go ahead, just to make this very, very easy on us, let's go ahead and search for Sunny Blossom. Let's grab that. And let's go ahead and grab our Nature's Aura book. Let's open this up and let's go to Ritual of the Forest. And we're going to go ahead and visualize this. And we're going to put it in right here. And let's go ahead and just lay this out real quick. Our gold leaf, we're going to go ahead and convert a bunch of this to gold powder. There we go. And I don't want to convert this one just yet, because I want to make sure that we have extra saplings. So let's go ahead and do that. And now we've got 6 saplings. That should be good. Okay, so now we can go ahead and place out our items and our sapling. And then as soon as this grows, there we go. This is going to absorb it. And it's going to craft for us the natural altar. Alright, now at this point, let's go ahead. I know we're just like going through some gates today. Let me go check and see if we can do another ritual with Eidolon. Kind of just keep trying to power through this. So we're going to go that. There we go. Oh, we got it first try. Awesome. So now we have the soul sign. And you can see that now we have the touch of darkness. Okay, now I believe this one we're going to have to... This is what we actually want to unlock. But if we grab our pewter inlay... But I think we're going to have to wait till the next day, if I recall, to actually be able to do this. But let's do that. Nope. Awesome. We can go ahead and do it. That's great. Okay, so now we can actually use this to make our weak blood orb. It is going to require 7,000 life points. So we'll come right back over to Nature's Aura in just a moment. But let's go ahead and pull these guys over. There we go. 7.6 buckets. That's perfect. So let's go ahead and throw our unholy symbol in at this point. And let's see if I can pull over some more mobs real quick. There we go. There is our weak blood orb. So we're going to go ahead and bind that to ourselves. And let's go ahead and put it into here and let it start draining some of the life essences that's in here. And now if we take a look at blood magic, we're going to get a Charm of Regeneration 2. Oh, and actually, if we make 6 blank runes, they're going to give us 2 speed runes. So we only have to make 18 blank slates to then push on to the tier 2. We're not going to do it today. Like I said, I'm not in a super big rush at the moment. I just kind of wanted to unlock blood magic, and more importantly, most importantly, just get access to the alchemy table. So there we go. That's drained everything. And we're going to head back over now. Now we're going to be setting up our natural altar. This is going to be kind of temporary because our natural altar is actually going to be sitting somewhere around down in here. But I've got to run the road down. But like I said, we are just basically pushing progression at the moment. So let's go ahead. And it'll make sense before too long as to why we're just gunning down some progression today. So we're going to be building our natural altar right here. And in order to set this up, we are going to need a few things. Most of it's all very mundane, but we are going to need golden stone bricks. And these are going to require some brilliant fibers, some mossy stone bricks, and some phytogrow. Alright, I don't currently have vines, but I can. I mean, I can get vines really, really easy, but we can just also come out to the swamp and grab ourselves some mossy stone. And then we'll turn that into mossy stone bricks. And then we just need the brilliant fibers. Alright, so we'll go ahead and get our brilliant fibers. We're going to need 8 of these, 2 crafts. And then it's going to be that. And then we'll just run through the rest of this. That's complete for the natural altar. Alright, so now at this point we can go set up our natural altar. Like I said, we will end up moving it, but for right now this will be fine until we get it like more officially set up, because we're only going to use this for a few things at the moment. But our little push through the gates is going to give us access to a literal ton of quality of life stuff for just a small amount of effort. So now we're going to get a rare Nature's Aura loot box for... Okay. Well, there we go. We got infused sun metal ingots. Now we can easily craft these. They're just sun metal bricks, which is just that sun metal blend smelted. But we got 8 of them from the quest, so that saves us a step. And then we get a rare Nature's Aura loot box. We got an item grounder. Okay. And then they want us to get an ore catch, which technically we have. That's an Unbreaking 5, Fortune 5 Botanist pickaxe. That's actually pretty good. Oh, and actually the Unholy Symbol, we get some warped sprouts. So technically we've ran all the way down through that. That's nice. Now let's go ahead and get access to Astral Sorcery. Because it's just going to be calcs of the end. And technically we can start producing Firmament as well. In order to get living rock. We will, but we don't actually need it today. So we'll get into that a little bit later. Okay, so there is our calcs of the end. And there is our resonating wand. So there's that. And then they want us to get the Luminous crafting table. We are going to need a linking tool for this. We're going to need a little bit of brass, which we can make that with just zinc and copper through the mixer. And then we're going to need some leather wrapped sticks and a rock crystal. Now at this point I am going to need to find a resonating gem or a resonating crystal. So let's go ahead and set this to small tunnel and let's just dig down. We can see it there on the screen. There we go. There is our rock crystal ore. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use the big fortune spell to break this. There we go. And we got 4 rock crystals out of that. So now since it is still night and nobody's sleeping at the moment. Oh. Okay, and that should be plenty of rock crystals for a little bit. So let's go ahead, swap that back. So we'll go ahead and get our very first bits of brass going. And then we are going to have to, for the ancient wood rods, we're going to have to get some ancient logs from Nature's Aura. So to make the sapling, it's palm, glitter kelp, veiled mushroom, emmer seeds, gold leaf, date. And then it's going to be a serene blossom sapling. Okay, and glitter kelp is like the one plant that I am going to have to get. I actually forgot about it, to be honest. And while we're there, I'm going to go ahead and get the veiled mushroom. I can't remember if we got some, but I'll go ahead and get some. Alright, so right over there is some glitter kelp. So we'll go ahead and just gather up a bit, because we are going to be growing this back at home as well. But now we do need to find veiled mushroom. We should be able to find it right here. There we go. There we go. And there is our ancient saplings. We actually get 2 of them. It's quite nice. And then we're going to go ahead and hopefully get some more saplings out of that. Ooh, it looks like we didn't. I wonder if they're set up to not produce saplings in this pack. It might be. But that's fine, because this is going to give us enough ancient logs for a little bit. Oh, for this, we're actually going to want to push into a sawmill pretty quickly, but luckily we're going to be. Let's go ahead, get ourselves some ancient wood rods. I remember seeing these come up in a few recipes actually. And there is our linking tool. Okay. Alright, so there is our magic workbench. And then we're just going to pop over to one of these astral temples over here. Let's go ahead, pop down. We'll drop that in. And we're going to go ahead and grab that and link it to this. And then I am going to need to make this visible to the sky. Let me pop up. There we go. And you can see that it just turned into the Luminous crafting table. Alright, so let's go ahead, grab that. That's going to complete a few quests for us. Scroll on down to Astral Sorcery, and we're going to get some Warp Scrolls and a Scavenger's Delight. We got a Heart of the Sea from that. And actually, we would get a linking tool. Yeah, so we didn't even have to... Well, we did have to craft it because we needed this first. And we'll come back to Astral Sorcery, but for right now, that's going to be good for us. Okay, now let's go ahead and get ourselves a Sterling Dynamo. And then we're also going to want to get ourselves some Invar. You know, we've had that quest for a while to get Invar Dust, which is Phyto Grow, Iron Dust, and Nickel Dust. And we're going to be making a small batch of this. Let's go ahead and go with like 20 iron. There we go. There is our Invar Dust. And then I'm assuming that we just smelt this like normal. Yeah. And we've got a few quests here. Basically, I've just got to pick things up to finish these out, to push us on to the crushing wheel. But I'll be doing that at some point, just kind of at our leisure. But at this point, I would like to go ahead and get the Induction Smelter. Now, this is going to require a few things here. Let's go ahead and get 2 Invar Gears. And then let's go ahead and get ourselves some wire cutters. We're going to want to cut all these copper plates down. I actually need more than that. Well, let me get the iron gear. And let me get a machine frame. And there's our other 8 copper wire. Okay. Now I'm going to need like 4 sticks. Alright, so there is our LV wire coil. There is our copper coil blocks. There is our induction smelter. Okay, and now when it comes to making latex, we're going to skip the fluid encapsulator for right now. And the reason being, it's a little bit more of a process to do all of this, and we don't actually need it at the moment. We will come back to that, but not right this second. We can actually make our latex a little bit differently. It's not going to be as efficient, but at the end of the day, it's literally vines and water. So it's not like crazy important that we make it super efficient. So let's go ahead, that, and that's going to get us tiny dry rubber. And then we're going to turn this into dry rubber. And then let's just grab ourselves a piece of sulfur. And let's also grab just a little bit of coal, like 5 pieces should be fine for now. And then just because we can, let's just grab some sand also. Alright, now let's pop over to here. We're going to set up our induction smelter. It's just going to be a really basic setup at the moment. Just like that. Just feed your power directly into the induction smelter. So go ahead and start making some power. This is going to start building up. We'll go ahead, throw that stuff into there. That's going to start running, and this is going to make us some cured rubber. There we go. And then if we take this with a bit of string, or linen, we're going to get protective fabric. Oh wait, I'm going to need another craft of it though. Yeah. Okay, so let me get that real quick. Now 3 of these we're going to go ahead and turn into protective fabric. And then we're going to need just some tinted glass of any kind to get our tinted jar. And then we're going to need to make some stone altars. So these are going to be stone, smooth stone, pewter inlay, soul shard. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and do 3 crafts of these. So it's going to be that, 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 that. And there we go. There is 9 stone altars. 6 of these we're going to save for our actual altar. Because we're going to be upgrading that later. We're not worried about it right now. But later on we will make use of that. And then we're going to go ahead and get ourselves our alchemy table. And what do we get from that? A rare blood magic loot box and an alchemist's delight. We got a lava crystal and 4 eyes of the blaze. What do we get from this? Rare nature's ore loot box and 32 ancient logs. Token of fear. Now this has to be placed in the undergarden. Okay. Okay, now let's go ahead and get ourselves some demon dream fruit. And let's go ahead, we'll do it right here. We're going to go ahead and make ourselves another overworld flame, or otherworld flame I mean. There we go, there's some other stone, and there is some unstable otherworld saplings. Okay, now let's pop over, let's go ahead and plant that down. There we go. And now if we were to eat our demon dream fruit, you're going to notice that this is actually otherworld wood. It wouldn't show up as such unless we have the effects of the demon dream fruit, the third eye. But we can get otherworld wood from that. Now I'm going to save the rest of them for a little bit, but you can also find the stone and the saplings underground, but I haven't found any of the oases yet. So, and I think occasionally they'll show up in other places, but generally that's going to be the best ways to go about getting them, honestly. And then to get our chalk, we're going to need to basically cook the other stone, and we're going to have to throw some otherworld wood into an occultism fire. And like I said, down the road we will end up setting up a little bit more of a permanent place for this, but for right now this will be good. Just kind of doing these temporary fires because they're basically free, so we're not that worried about it. Okay, so there's our otherworld ashes. Then I'm assuming that I can do this with bulk blasting. I can. There was our burnt other stone, and now we just have to pop over to the undergarden, set up our alchemy table, and then we can take that, or wait, I need the plant oil first. It's going to be that, and then 3 of pretty much any kind of like vegetable will work. And then of course it is going to take a little bit of life essence, that's why we went ahead and filled that up earlier. Then we're going to take the plant oil, our burnt other stone, and our burnt otherworld ashes. And we are going to craft our impure chalk. So there we go. And then we're going to need at least 7 buckets inside of this. Luckily there is a lot of mobs out today. Okay. There we go. And we're going to take our chalk, throw that into there, and let that run for a little bit. There we go. There's our white chalk. And I'm going to go ahead and drain what's left of this just into our blood orb. Will be fine. Okay, it looks like the blood orb is actually filled up at the moment. So let's go ahead and take this. Now, we're not going to be doing anything with occultism for a little bit. That's basically just because we might as well, while we're on a roll with our magic gates, go ahead and get that kind of opened up. So if we do decide we want to do something with it fairly soon, then we have it available. But most of the stuff that we're going to be doing and pushing for is going to be related to Botania, blood magic, nature's aura, and a little bit of astral sorcery over some of the coming episodes, as well as some tech and stuff that will kind of be weaving in in places as well. So, okay, now technically, as far as this whole first section of Apprentice, now, granted, like I said, we've just been pushing through most of this, so we're going to be spending a few episodes kind of doing some automation, some setup, using a lot of this stuff. But just for completion's sake, and plus we're going to need it come next episode, because we're going to be doing some stuff related to Britannia come next episode. But let's go ahead. We're going to get ourselves a Master Corporea Spark. Oh, any kind of God Shard to do that. There we go. And then we're also going to want to get ourselves a Corporea Index. Now we're going to need some Ghostly Glass. This is Bottled Ghosts. We're going to need some Spirit Attuned Gems. And we're going to need some Ectoplasm and some Corporea Blocks. And we are going to need a Crimson Altar for this too. And to get our bottles and cork, we're going to need Tree Bark. So there we go. There's 10 bottle and cork. And let's go ahead and pop over to the Nether, which is where we should be able to get our Bottled Ghosts. This is another reason that we need Nature's Aura, is because we can't make the Corporea Index without it, and having a Corporea Index is kind of important for any kind of Corporea system. So, but there's 4 Bottled Ghosts, and then we can go ahead and get our Ghostly Glass. Ectoplasm, of course, is not an issue whatsoever, because it comes from the Wraiths in Adam, and you tend to run across those a lot when you're doing pyramids, so we have plenty of those available. And then let's go ahead and we're going to turn a stack of Spirit Attuned Gems into a stack of Arcane Source Gems into a stack of Spirit Attuned Gems. And then all we need is the Corporea Block, which does require Infused Rock, which in this pack, it does require the Crimson Altar in order to turn Arcane Stone into the Infused Rock. And we're going to need 8 golden nether bricks, so I'm going to have to make a bit more brilliant fiber real quick. And then we're going to take some nether bricks, combine those with our brilliant fibers to get our golden nether bricks. And then for our red nether bricks, we're just going to use some sandpaper. And go ahead and turn 4 nether bricks into red nether bricks. There we go. And then we just need the planks. It'll either have to be the warped or the crimson planks. So let's just set out in search of, well, ideally just a biome that's not basalt deltas. The basalt delta here is actually extremely massive. RS runes. Find all new ruins. Okay. Well, I know I want this. Banner. Oh, we got crimson planks. I need 20 of these. It's actually a lot of gilded blackstone here. I'm going to take it. This stuff doesn't tend to be super common. Okay, what's the actual purpose of this ruin, I wonder? Oh, there's a loot chest here. Hammer mobility 4. It's like a good place to collect some really neat banner patterns, I guess. Well, let's go ahead. We're going to head back to our entrance to the Nether. Now, it is important that we do set this up in the Nether, but we're going to set it up a little bit closer to our Nether portal, I think. And let's go ahead and take our natural altar also. For now, we're just going to be kind of bouncing these back and forth between altars, but then later on we'll make another natural altar for this one. Alright, now let's go ahead and visualize it right there. There we go. And there is our natural altar completed. Or our crimson altar, I mean. Now, at the moment, I only need one of these, so I'm just going to make one batch of Infused Stone. It's actually going to be extremely easy for us to make more, because all we got to do is just put that into there, give it a couple seconds. There we go. There's our Infused Rock. And even though it only makes 1 Infused Rock, it's going to make 8 Corporea Stone. So it will end up going decently far, but the thing is, we're actually going to be consuming a lot of this for our Corporea network, so But there we go. There's our corporea index. And there we go. We have completed the Apprentice Magic chapter, technically. But we still have a lot of stuff really related to the Apprentice chapter left to do. So a lot of setup and stuff. So at this point, I know it's wrapping up point for this episode, but over the coming episodes, we're going to be doing a lot of setups, some automation. Next episode, we are doing corporea, as well as a couple other things related to Britannia. Some really big quality of life stuff. And then we're going to be moving over and doing a bit of automation and things for a lot of the stuff. Because as we progress onwards, I want to have a lot of the stuff ready to go. And have it be easier to craft than having to manually go through and craft it. But just getting ourselves sorted out with storage and organization stuff come next episode, it's going to help out a ton. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay updated with when new videos come out. And I hope to see you guys next time. So until then, as always, do take care, stay safe. I'll see you guys then.